All right, so allow me to please welcome each and everyone here today. It's certainly not a pleasure, but it's a great honor to be a part of this collective in getting together to say a little thank you and pay a little tribute to one of our fallen musos who I'm sure to everybody here needs no introduction at all because he was a real stalwart in our industry. And before we get down into celebrating what he actually contributed to many of us who's in this room today and to the public at large, I think we'll just want to get rid of some of the formalities. First of all, to have Joe getting on board and giving us this great venue to do our little thing. Thank you very much, Joe, and everybody. Also, too, there were many that contributed to us having this particular venue here today and to getting the snacks and everything ready. So if I can just take a minute of your time, we've got, for example, Mike Four all the way from Chicago, Magda Summerfield from Cape Town, Martin Sack from the UK, Charlene Isabel Gregg from Cape Town. I think they were all the groupies. Scotty and Mrs. Schulman, Robbie and Susie Mann, who's living in Australia, Debbie Harris, who's the headmistress of the school, De La Salle, where Jethro taught and played guitar. To all these wonderful people who could not be with us, and there's many more, please, would you give them a nice warm round of applause as well. Now, obviously, we all knew him very well, but there's a group of people here that knew him even better than we ever did. Some of them may be here, some of them may not be here. Jethro's family, for example, Heather and daughter Camilla, who's not with us. That was his first wife. His third wife was Annie with Oliver and Jamie, the twins. They couldn't be here with us today. But the second wife, Amanda, and son Seth, they're both with us here, and we thank them very much for being with us. Thank you. And let us say and convey our deepest sympathy and our heartfelt condolences to the family and everybody concerned, because it's definitely a tragedy for you guys in as much that it was for everybody in this room here today. I got a letter from Mike Forer. And the reason why I want to just start by reading this out to you is because I think in many ways what Mike has said in this particular brief, I think pertains to all of us here, because I don't think there's one person in this room that either didn't work with Jethro, collaborated with him, or he worked on other people's recordings, etc., etc. So allow me to read this, and I'm sure it applies to many of you in the room here today. I first met Jethro in the mid-1970s when we were both in Cape Town and worked on several various projects. Later in Johannesburg, we would see each other several times a week, if not daily. Whether it was hopping from recording studio to recording studio, doing jingles or other recording dates. We also played in bands like Morocco, both in South Africa and California, and a dozen other different corporate functions all over the country. TV specials were on the route. We also had many road trips together. In those days, Jethro didn't drive, so we would spend many long hours together driving to and from functions. For a big chunk of my career in South Africa, Jethro was a close colleague and friend. I feel fortunate to have known him and will forever cherish the indelible memories of his infectious sense of humor. His smile, his enthusiasm on any gig, not forgetting his absolute brilliant guitar playing. A world-class muso. He was a solid and respected member of the A-team and will be sorely missed. Farewell, Jethro, my friend, with loving thoughts to your family and friends Mike Forer. Now that sums up, I think, what it means to, what he meant to each and every one of us. I personally just have a little thing. I remember many eons ago, we would be in a bus, a big 40-seater Chris Jabir bus. Gwyneth Ashley Robbins' father, we'd be touring throughout Southwest Africa. Steve, who is instrumental in putting this whole thing here together, was on the tour with us with Peter Hubner and everything else, and Jethro, and his incredible, zany, funky enthusiasm was always a thing that we looked for at every stop. I remember, I don't know if you guys would have remembered Denny Loren, who was the singer then with Peter Hubner. Well, she had the two most brilliant jugs ever seen in those days. And I remember one night we going down to the kitchen and Jethro coming back with a scale, one of those kitchen scales where you what's the name, flour and things and everything on. And we ended up weighing Sophia, and I think the other one's name was Gertrude or Genevieve or something. So this was the kind of thing that he would get up to. And then a couple of years later on the Delians toured throughout Rhodesia with Maney Revere with us, Gary Van Sale and everybody. The same thing would happen. We would play pranks and get on. He was just an enormous energy and so much enthusiasm with everything he did. I don't think there was 5 sentences that you could hear coming out of Jethro where it either didn't give you a laugh or you remarked on the nuance or whatever he was trying to do. And that laugh was very infectious. He had everybody going within just a couple of minutes. So in doing that, what we'd like to do now is play you a video that has come to us, and have a look at this, because this, I think, sums up exactly what he was all about. This is Train.
Who's gonna ride this train? Who's gonna ride this train straight from here? Come back again. Who's gonna carry that load? Who's gonna carry that load straight from here? Come back again, straight from here. Come back again. I really think you should know there's nowhere left for you to go. And I really think that it's strange there's nothing left to rearrange. Who's gonna ride this train? Who's gonna ride this train straight from here? Come back again. Who's gonna carry that load? Who's gonna carry that load straight from here? Come back again. Yeah. I really go, 'cause I got away with nothing to fear.
Musician extraordinaire. Come on, guys, give him a nice warm round of applause. Come on. Loosen up here. Before I present our first live tribute, let me just run through just a few people that I'm sure you guys would know that couldn't be here, for example, but who have sent condolences to the family, and of course, just to be here in spirit with us here today. Roger Lucy and Robin Auld, Robin Walsh and Peter John Blackwell, Michael Richard and Jeff Harris, Marius Merez, and of course Dick is here, although his name's on the list. Where's China? He's here. Dick Mackerich, where is he? Where's he sitting? There he is over there. Well done. Okay, Dick's here. Then there's Cedric Sampson, who sent his best from Cape Town, Tim Hoare and Trevor Cranfield, Alan Twaits, Dawn Selby, Mike Abrams, Clive Goodwill is with us here today. Saw Clive early on. George Spencer, Rafe Levine, Peter Hubner, which we just mentioned, Ian Vine, Chrissy Kane, who got hold of us from the UK, Rick Wolf, Michael Milne, Elaine Starkey, Karen Sickle, Jeff St. John, who couldn't be with us here today, and of course, many, many more. The list is absolutely endless. So thank you to those people and many more. Behind me now, we've got a lady that I'm sure needs no introduction to each and every one worldwide, because she is something else. Love you to bits. Ladies and gentlemen, Cindy Alter.
Thank you so much. The song I want to sing today is a very new song of mine. It hasn't been recorded yet, but I think the song is very apt. It refers to people like us, people in this kind of industry that have fought so hard all these years, trudging our gear, doing what we got to do to get to the gigs, get paid, and everything. And what are we going to be ending up with? What are we left with? It's called The Last One Standing. Fight. All we ever do is fight. Are we ever gonna learn? Are we ever gonna learn? Dream. All we ever do is dream, because reality stings and leaves us breathless. And when our time is over and we've lived enough, can we look over our shoulders and see everything was love? When the curtain falls and I hear the calls, who will be the last one standing? When the stage is bare and there's no one there, who will be the last one standing? Sing. All I ever did was sing. Sometimes it didn't mean a thing because nobody was listening. Feel like every moment was so thin, like talons tearing at my skin and leaving me hollow. And when our time is over and we've lived enough, can we look over our shoulders and see everything was love? When the curtain falls and I hear the calls, will we be the last one standing? When the stage is bare and there's no one there, will I be the last one standing? 'Cause all I ever did was run, 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 like someone chasing you with a gun, gun, gun. Will I ever be the one, the one, the one, the one? All I ever did was run, 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 like someone chasing with a gun, gun, gun. Will I ever be the one to say I'll be the last one standing? Be the last one standing. I'll be the last one standing. Yeah, the last one, the last one, the last one. And when the curtain falls and I hear the calls, will I be the last one standing? And when the stage is bare and there's no one there, will I be the last one standing? The last one, the last one. Will I be the last one standing? The last one standing.
Cindy Alter. And if we can lift the house lights a little bit, because I'm trying to find where Mandy is. Where is Mandy? There she is, walking at the back there. The reason why I ask, because this particular song that we're going to show you right now, if I'm correct, Mandy, was written for you something like 32 years ago. And it's Jethro along with Morocco, the band that obviously he was unbelievable with. And it's a song that he wrote for Mandy, and it's an incredible song. Don't Leave Me Halfway.
Oh, babe, don't leave me halfway. You know that I can't leave her. That's the way it's gonna have to be. Oh, can't you see? Yeah, babe, I'm gonna miss you, but I can't go on deceiving, and I can't go on believing, thinking maybe someday or some way. Well, I love you so much, I don't wanna hurt you. I love you more than you'll ever understand. And wherever you go, my love will be there with you. So please listen, there's gotta be another way. Yeah, babe, don't leave me halfway. It's pointless to believe in when my love is falsely stealing you away, making you stay. Yeah, babe, I'm gonna miss you, but I can't go on deceiving. I can't go on believing, thinking maybe someday or someday. I love you so much, I don't wanna hurt you. I love you more than you'll ever understand. Yeah. And wherever you go, my love will be there with you. So please listen, there's gotta be another way. Love you so much, I don't wanna hurt you. I love you more than you'll ever understand. I love you so much, I don't wanna hurt you. Love you more than you'll ever understand. Yes, I love you, babe. Yes, I love you. Love you so much, I don't wanna hurt you. I love you more than you'll ever understand. JPT.
I think you'll agree that's one hell of a song. Woo! That is a hell of a song. Now, as you saw in that video, there was obviously many clips of the various groups and members of the bands that Jethro sort of was a part of. And I think Bobby was one of them in Free Ride. Where's Bob? Bob's here somewhere. Bobby Lowe sitting down there. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, in the original Morocco, there was Cedric, wasn't he? Cedric, Mike Forer, Joe Arthur, Les Good, Tim, yeah, absolutely. And Johnny and Khala was there. Yeah, he was there as well. Unbelievable. So I think all those guys deserve a great round of applause. They all, some of them are with us, some of them are not with us. But wow, you can see how Jet just touched everybody as he was going along. I'd like to call up Tim Parr right now. Where's Tim? There he comes. Tim would like to pay a tribute to Jet.
Hello, everybody. How's it, Oaks? I remember going sneaky into the branch office when I was 16 to watch this incredible guitarist and Plum Crazy with Morocco and Free Ride. He was definitely a big inspiration as a lighty to me, you know. So I just want to tell you some words that I wrote when Jethro got killed. And I wrote a song imagining Jethro talking to me from the other side. So I just want to pretend to be Jethro talking to you from the other side today. And Jethro, wherever you are, I'm sure you're gonna. The one thing about Jethro, he had no sense of humor. You know that. Anyway, I'll miss him making us laugh. Shit, he was so funny. Anyway, I'm sure he's making everyone cackle up there. So it goes like this. So pretend I'm Jethro. Don't cry when I say goodbye. Even if I say death is just another doorway. I say you must, I insist. Listen to your heart and learn to trust in this. Before I go, before I depart, I want you to know from the start, from my heart, that nothing in this world or in the next will ever keep us apart. So sing your songs, but sing up from in. Because you know when you sing, you bring a bit more light into the world we're living in. And shine on dreamers with your gifts divine. I'll see you on the other side. But take your time and remember that nothing in this world or in the next, cross my heart, will ever keep us, break us, take us, or shake us apart. Jethro, I love you. Sorry you gone, bro.
Well done, Tim. The gentleman behind me, we obviously nicknamed him Super Pipes, which we'll hear in a couple of minutes. Stuart Irving.
Thanks very much. Everybody's trying to be a superstar. Nobody knows what for. Everybody's overlooking someone's heart. 'Cause everybody's trying to be a superstar. Take a look around you. Tell me, what do you see? A world full of people making believe. Insecure lovers proving themselves, impressing each other. Nobody else. Everybody's trying to be a superstar. Nobody knows what for. Everybody's overlooking someone's heart. 'Cause everybody's trying to be a superstar. Easy to love you and to give you my all. 'Cause you love me, baby, even my faults. You took time to show me how good love could be. Now look at the hero you made out of me. Everybody's trying to be a superstar. Nobody knows what for. Everybody's overlooking someone's heart. 'Cause everybody's trying to be a superstar. Everybody's trying to be a superstar. Adios, amoeba.
All right, now early on you heard me mention Morocco. And of course, one of the stalwarts there was a gentleman that everybody in this room knows, and that is Joe Arthur.
Jet. Hey, soldier. Nary a dull second with you in studio and laughter until our cheeks ached. But always incredible taste in your playing, ripping the roof off and sharing your endless talent. Luckily, with music, your legacy is captured forever. My heart's best wishes for all your loved ones during this awful time of loss. Fondest memories and love always, Meini Gravia. I wasn't, I don't know, I just came. I met Jethro as a wide-eyed youngster who knew nobody. Well, I mean, I knew the famous guys, and he was brought in to play on my very first demo recordings, proper demo recordings at Peter Hubner's studio upstairs above the Golden Egg in Hillbrow, next to the not branch office, Bella Napoli there, near there, and it was a heady, fantastic, amazing time for me that actually changed my life. Jethro was he was an incredible musician. He was an incredible guitar player. And he was very funny. He was a complicated man. And we were close for a couple of years there. And then we saw each other on various gigs and a couple times a year maybe, and we would get together sort of once a year and talk excitedly about doing a fantastical show. Jethro always had these visions of like a 100-piece orchestra and amps up the yin yang and lights and sound and projections, and it was Jethro. And Jet, I'm sorry we never got to do that show, man. But I'm coming. We'll do it one day. I don't have a guitar with me, but I kind of feel like I want to sing a song for you, if that's okay, for him, for Jet. Seagull, you fly across the horizon into the misty morning sun. Nobody asks you where you are going. Nobody knows where you're from. Here is a man asking the question, is this really the end of the world? Seagull, you must have known for a long time the shape of things to come. Now you fly through the sky, never asking why, and you fly all around till somebody shoots you down. Seagull, you fly across the horizon into the misty morning sun. Nobody asks you where you are going. Nobody knows where you're from. Now you fly through the sky, never asking why, and you fly all around till somebody shoots you down. Seagull, go on and fly. Oh, and you fly away today, and you fly away tomorrow, and you fly away. Leave me to my sorrow.
Well, Jed. Superb. Give him a nice warm round of applause. Come on. Woo! Unbelievable. Good. All right. What we'd like to do right now is to close this particular gathering with a rather special tribute that was done. And before we just go into that, once again, please would we put our hands together for Parker's and Joe Parker, who's here today, and all those wonderful contributions that came in for us to do this. Special word of thanks to Steve and Gavin, Joe, and everybody involved in putting this whole thing together. But without Mandy being here and Seth, who's joined us, we thank you very much for allowing us to get this whole thing going. And would you give them a beautiful send-off? He was a merry man of music, a banjo player's son, a thundering velvet hand, his heart was known to none. We thank you for the music and the stories of the road. We thank you for the laughter. Where did you have to go? And that was, Mandy wrote that last night with a bit of thanks to Dan Pollenberg. Would you give her a nice warm round of applause? Steve's got together and we've done the closing animations, and I think you'll read it off as it comes up. We say, rest in peace, Jethro.
Butow. Thank you.